Well, howdy, folks. Hey, you're a good sounding group. Welcome to Silver Dollar City's 50th anniversary season, and here to help us celebrate direct from the Emerald Isle, world-renowned harpist and honorary Silver Dollar citizen, Durable Finnegan.
Theatre, Derby Finnegan is Amandom, agus the áhas an Darnarm, Ospe the WORLDFEST in you. Like the strangest thing I have to do right now, because my microphone just fell down here. Introduce magic. There we go. Good afternoon to you all. Well, I wanted to introduce you, of course, to the native language of Ireland, which is Gaelic. Gaelic was once the first spoken language of the people of our country, but it's not anymore. If you came to visit Ireland, of course English is the language you'd be welcomed in. But I was lucky enough to be brought up in a home that was native speaking, so my parents felt it very important that I understood the native language of Ireland, which is Gaelic. And I think I better share that with you, because did you know that the Gaelic language only has 19 letters? That's all we need. Okay, so this will explain an awful lot for you. There is no V in the Irish language, there's a BH instead. Okay, now this will explain my name. If you look at my name now, it's pronounced Derval. See, it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Also, the name means true desire. My mum had 3 boys before she had me. So she named me her true desire. So, and the piece I just played for you was one of, from one of our greatest harper composers. His name was Thurlow Carolan, and he wrote it in honour of a lady called Frances Power. So that was the piece I just opened with you for you. I'm from the east coast of Ireland. I've lived all my life in a small village called Nobber in County Meath. I have travelled all around the world, but I definitely make Ireland my home. And, but I want to take you to the west coast of Ireland now, to a small little island called Inisheer. And Inisheer is a tiny little island with less than 20 inhabitants on it, and it's only a half-mile off the shores of Ireland. But it's a magical place to visit. It's where the Atlantic Ocean crashes in, and it's so pure and simple, the lifestyle there, that this piece of music hopefully will transport you to the Isle of Inisheer. is the national symbol or emblem of Ireland. A lot of people mistake the shamrock as being the emblem or symbol of Ireland, but it's untrue. It's the harp. And the harp has been played in Ireland since the 7th century, and it has had a continuous lifestyle right through that time period. Do you know that the harp players were feared so much when under British rule, that the Queen Elizabeth I of England in the 16th century called for the head and the harp of every harp player in the country. She believed they were causing her too much fear. They were getting close to the High Kings, and they were getting closer where she felt they were causing a little bit of political problem for her. I still like to keep that going to this day. I'm really joking. But the harp, as I said, the national symbol of Ireland, and it can be seen all across the country. It's on the reverse of all our coins. It's the presidential seal of the country, and it is also seen on those government letters, the tax ones that come in every couple of months into the house. So it's seen all across the country. But the piece of music that is totally associated to the Irish harp is the next one that I want to play for you. And it's all about the story of Brian Boru. He was a High King of Ireland who died in the 12th century at a very famous battle called the Battle of Clontarf, which is when Ireland lost its independence for 800 years to Great Britain. So it was a huge turning point in Irish history. So this is a musical reenactment of the battle scene of Brian Boru's death. For me, please feel free to ask anything about the harp you're curious about, because I haven't met too many harp players so far in this area. Actually, I mentioned the harp and they all thought I was talking about the mouth organ, but I consider it a whole other instrument. The next piece I want to play for you was composed by a lady called Janet Harbison from Belfast in Northern Ireland, and it was her that really inspired me to I suppose create music a little bit more than just repeat. So she composed this piece of music for me for the entrance to my wedding. Our wedding. No, it's our wedding. My wedding? Yes, my wedding. But it was the entrance piece that my dad walked me down the aisle to. So it's called St. John's March. I change these here. I'm just, actually for those that may not see what I'm doing, I'm just twist this around. What I'm doing is changing string. Each one of the 34 strings has a little lever on it, and it just changes the pitch of the string, so it's raising it a half step. So it's just like reaching in for the black note in your piano. I just have to create it, yeah. Yes? How long have you been at this? I've been playing it for 22 years. Wow. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
But you're only 21.
I know, that's what I'm saying, it's so hard to believe. You can sit in my audience every day, that way. Yes?
The string colors, I could see blue and green from here. Like.
Yeah, there's reds. All the red strings are C's. They're probably strange in the light. Yeah, the red strings are C's, and the black strings are F's. So I can distinguish where the octaves are when I'm playing. It helps a lot. A lot. Yes. Oh, there are lots of different sizes of harps, and this is a standard size for an Irish harp. But you can have lap harps, like knee harps, that have a greater, smaller amount of strings, right up to the largest harp is an orchestral harp, which my concert harp at home has 48 strings in it. Wow. Yeah, so there's a huge, really there's harps all around the world. Like in Africa there's harps called the Koa harps, so they can take all sorts of shapes and sizes, the term of what a harp is. Yeah. Yes?
Playing at Silver Dollar City, is that the only harp you have played?
Playing at Silver Dollar City? No, I've only brought this harp with me. Last year I played this harp, and other times I've had different harps throughout. A lot of Silver Dollar City weather hasn't helped some of my handmade harps, and I brought one over a few years ago, and it was smiling back at me by the time I left. It had separated, the woods had separated in it. So this one I got made with a lot of laminated woods here, so it helps keep it sturdier and in tune, hopefully. Yeah. Anybody?
Women are better harpists than men.
Did you ask me, or women better harp, or did you tell me? Well, you know, it's funny. It's funny how women are associated with the harp. But really, back in Irish history, it was all men that played it. And I think the main reason for it was a huge revival by the nuns in the convents in Ireland, and hence they would only were access to the ladies. So that's where they think that why so many women play it in Ireland nowadays. There's only a couple of men really playing it. But I think we do it better anyway. I would be joking. Yes.
Do all harp players play by ear, or do some read music?
Oh no. Now I learned how to play all my traditional music by ear through the oral tradition, but I also studied music. So nowadays everybody learns how to read, but still the oral tradition is kept very much alive, especially for airs and slow tunes where it's not just enough to recreate off a page. It's more about feeling than that. Okay. Yes. I have to cough. Excuse me. Is it tuned like a piano? Yeah. What you're looking at is basically the inside of a piano. So this is middle C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. I'm just creating, as I say, those half steps. Yeah. I tune it myself before each performance. It's not such a big problem to do it. Electronic tuners. I better play some music, haven't I? The next piece is also. No, there's no pedals. I'm just tapping my feet for the fun of it down here. Yeah. No, there's no pedals down here. It makes it typically what is known as a lever harp. These lever harps, yeah. So it reduces massively the range of what I can play in key signatures, but there's a lot more tonal reflection in these smaller harps. I play the big harp and I can't get as much light and shade in it as much as these harps do. I'll play a tune, here I go coughing again. I'll play a tune that was taught to me here by Greg Bailey from the Homestead Pickers at the top of the park. I'm sure you know who they are, don't you? Wild group of people. But anyway, he told me this lovely tune that I hope you'll all recognise, is Shokin's Farewell. very much. Well, I'm coming to the final two pieces I'm going to play for you today. And I'd like to say, Gur Mila Mila Mahavith, thank you very much for coming in today. I truly appreciate you coming in to hear the harp. And for all the men that were dragged in, I hope it was worthwhile. I'm going to finish off with two tunes that are close to my heart. The first one is called Erin Minosan Kwehi, For Ireland She Will Always Cry. And I think it probably will touch a chord with those people who have Irish ancestry. This piece of music was composed by an immigrant from Ireland who had to leave Ireland at the time of the Great Irish Famine in the 1840s. And when he reached the shores of the United States, the reality of his life, that he was never going to be able to make it home to Ireland again or ever probably see his family or friends, that struck him. And this is a piece of music he composed. So, For Ireland She Will Always Cry. And it was taught to me by my grandfather Finnegan. He was a fiddle player, hence known as Fiddler Finnegan. But for a whole lot of other reasons as well, other than just the fiddler. He was a great fun man. But he said to me I'd be a grown woman before I'd understand the meaning of the tune. So, and then I'll finish it off with a dance tune called The Sport of the Chase. And it's a traditional slip jig danced by girls. And I'll leave it up to your own imagination what the sport of the chase is all about. If you enjoyed my music, I do have some recordings, or I would just happy to speak to you afterwards.
All right.